Can you imagine it? A devoted British mother who poured her heart and soul into raising her children, cast out of her own home by her eldest son on her 60th birthday. But hold on, little does he know, she's just uncovered a secret pension paying her £60 in a month. And her next move, she's decided to buy the very building her son lives in. Will this delicious act of revenge bring her peace? Or will it shatter what's left of her family? Don't miss this emotional roller coaster that'll make you rethink loyalty. And love watch now before you miss out. The scent of my morning coffee fills the air, as comforting as ever, but it does nothing to warm the chill in my chest. I'm perched on my worn-out armchair in the living room, where soft autumn sunlight slips through the curtains, casting faint golden streaks across the scuffed wooden floor. Today is my 60th birthday, but there's no cake. No flowers, not even a single happy birthday from my children. Just a heavy silence, as if the house itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to break. I'm Margaret, a widowed mother who spent a lifetime building this home, every brick, every drop of sweat, and yet it feels like it's turning its back on me. Heavy footsteps echo from the staircase. It's James, my eldest son. He strides into the room, avoiding my gaze, clutching a coffee mug not for me. Of course. Mom, we need to talk, he says. His voice is cold as if he's addressing a tenant late on rent. I set my cup down, trying to stay calm, though my heart's already racing. What's this about? Love, I ask, my tone gentle. The same one I used to soothe him when he was a boy, scared of thunderstorms. But James is 35 now, tall and sharp in his crisp suit, his eyes hard and distant. He sits on the sofa opposite, hands clasped tightly. Mom, I think it's time you moved out. This house, it's too big for you alone. Sarah and I have discussed it, and we reckon it's best to sell. His words hit like a knife, sharp and merciless. I stare at him, searching those eyes for a trace of the boy who'd cling to me during a storm. But there's nothing, just a cold distance, as if I'm a burden to be tidied away. Sell the house, I echo, my voice trembling. This is our family home. James, it's where your father and I. Dad's gone. Mom, he cuts in, flat and unfeeling. Things have changed. You living here alone, it's expensive. Sarah's found a lovely care home. You'd be more comfortable there. Care home. The words ring in my head like a death knell. Me, who gave up everything to raise 3 children, now reduced to an old relic to be tucked away. I want to scream, to demand why he's treating me like this. But the values I was raised with hold me back. A mother doesn't lash out at her child, no matter how much her heart bleeds. I nod, lips pressed tight, and murmur, I'll think about it. James stands, gives a curt nod like he's just closed a deal, and walks out. The door slams shut, and the sound jolts me, as if it's sealed shut, a chapter of my life. That night, I can't sleep. I sit in the small upstairs room, surrounded by family keepsakes. The old oak desk, where my late husband used to help the kids with their homework, stands dusty but proud. I run my hand over its rough surface, each scratch telling a story. Then, voices drift up from the living room. James and Sarah, my middle child. They think I'm asleep, but their words carry clearly up the stairs, sharp as church bells. I've spoken to Mom. She'll agree. I'm sure, James says, brimming with confidence. This house is worth a fortune. Sarah, if we sell, we all get a share. I'm thinking of starting that business. And you need funds for little Tom's uni abroad. Sarah's voice is quieter, but just as calculated. Mom's getting on. James, a care home's better for her. Just make sure she doesn't know we're selling until she signs the papers. I freeze behind the door, my hand gripping the wooden frame until it hurts. My children, the ones I cradled, nursed through fevers, loved with every fiber of my being, are plotting to sell our home and shunt me into a corner of their lives. I return to my room, sinking onto the bed, the world crumbling around me. My hands tremble, not with anger, but with the sting of betrayal. I reach for my phone, tempted to call Oliver, my youngest, the only one not part of their scheming. But I stop. Oliver's always been my rock, but he's young, struggling with his career in London. I can't drag him into this mess, not yet. Then, like a beacon in the dark, my phone buzzes. An email from the insurance firm I worked for years ago, a job I kept quiet after my husband passed. I scan the message, my eyes widening at the impossible figures. Dear Margaret, we're pleased to inform you of a supplementary pension from our special program. You'll receive £60,000 per month, starting this month. I read it again. Heart pounding. £60,000 every month. Enough to change everything. I gaze out the window, where moonlight bathes the little garden I once tended with my children. A thought sparks, cold and sharp as a blade. If my children want to play games with property, I'll play too. But on my terms. I close my eyes, drawing a deep breath, the cool air filling my lungs. This house is mine, and no one, not even my son, will take it from me. But what lies ahead? Am I stepping into a game where even I can't predict the fallout? So, before you settle in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe, but only if you're loving what I'm sharing here. The dim glow of the desk lamp casts a soft light across the attic room, where a thin layer of dust clings to everything like morning dew on leaves. I sit on an old wooden stool, my hands trembling as I lift the lid of the oak box my husband crafted over 30 years ago. The scent of aged wood mingles with the faint aroma of dried lavender, stirring memories of long summer afternoons in our countryside home. When the family gathered around a simple meal, this box isn't just a container, it's a piece of our family's soul, holding memories I thought had faded with time. But tonight, after the shock of James's words, it's become my only refuge for a heart that's bleeding. I sift through the contents, each item slicing into my past like a blade. First, a family photo taken at Kew Gardens on a crisp Easter Sunday when my husband was still with us. We're dressed in bright spring colors, the children so small, clinging to me and their father. James, just 8, beams with a gap-toothed grin, clutching a melting ice lolly under the spring sun. Sarah, my middle child, hides shyly behind her dad, her eyes sparkling with quiet joy. And Oliver, the youngest, barely toddling, sits on my lap, gripping a helium balloon. We look like the perfect family, where love didn't need words. But now, staring at the photo, a bitter taste lingers on my tongue, as if those smiles were just a veneer, hiding the selfishness growing beneath. I set the photo aside, my fingers brushing against the silver bracelet my husband gave me for our wedding anniversary. It's tarnished now, but its facets still catch the lamplight, reminding me of silent sacrifices. My husband worked long hours at the factory, coming home with calloused hands, yet always found time to help the kids with their homework. I worked at an insurance firm, selling policies by day and sewing for neighbors by night to make ends meet. No one knew my job wasn't just standard sales. I was part of a special program handling high-risk cases, which led to the staggering pension I now receive. But I never boasted. Our British upbringing taught me money was for saving, not showing off. I sacrificed sleep and health so my children could have a good education, nice clothes, full plates. James studied economics at uni. Sarah trained as a teacher, and Oliver pursued it. Each degree was a piece of my own flesh and blood. Beneath the bracelet lies a small notebook, filled with my daily budgeting scribbles. I flipped through it, seeing my shaky handwriting. James's uni fees, £5,000. Borrowed $2,000 from Mom, or Sarah's flu medicine, £50. Skip breakfast to cover. Those numbers aren't just money, they're sleepless nights. Meals I went without. I remember the year James sat his uni exams, so stressed he stopped eating. I cooked chicken porridge every morning, despite my own exhaustion. "Mom, I'm sorry for making you worry," he'd said, voice trembling as he hugged me after his final exam. I'd smiled, ruffled his hair, and said, "You're my joy, love." Now, those words echo like a cruel joke. My joy, or a burden he's eager to shed. Voices from downstairs snap me out of my reverie. I creep to the door, pressing my ear to the wood, listening. James and Sarah are talking, their voices hushed, as if afraid of being overheard. I reckon Mum'll agree. Sarah says, a hint of worry in her tone, but resolute. She's getting on. James, a care home will have staff to look after her. This house, if we sell, we split it 3 ways. I need funds for my cafe. You've got Tom's uni abroad. And you've got your property plans. James chuckles, a sound that chills me to the bone. Exactly, but we've got to be careful. Don't let Mum know we've already contacted the estate agent. She'd kick up a fuss. And you know how our family's got to keep things civil. Civil. My fists clench, nails digging into my palms until they sting. They're talking about me like I'm an item to be cleared out. While I'm still here, still breathing in this house, I return to the box, pulling out an old letter from Oliver, my youngest. He wrote it while away at uni. "Dear Mom, I miss you so much. Please take care of yourself. Don't overwork. I'll visit soon." Oliver's always been different, more sensitive, calling me weekly to check in. But now, I wonder, does he know about his siblings' plans? Or is he staying silent, letting James take the lead? I trace the letter, tears rolling down my cheeks. Hot as burning coals. Were my sacrifices worth it? I raised my children with the values of respect and duty, rooted in our traditions. Every Christmas, I taught them to polish the family silver, to honor those who came before. But now, they're turning their backs on those values. Lured by money and modern temptations, a dark thought flickers, seductive as a whisper from the shadows. With 60 pounds in a month, what could I do? Not just keep this house, but more. I could buy the block of flats James lives in, the one he's so proud of, purchased with a bank loan. He doesn't know I've overheard his struggles, the debts piling up from failed investments. If I owned that building, I'd hold the cards, and James would have to face me on new terms. But should I? In our culture, a mother doesn't seek revenge on her children. She forgives. She sacrifices. But is there a limit to forgiveness? I stare out the window, the darkness outside swallowing everything, and I feel a new strength stirring within me. Suddenly, my phone buzzes, its screen flashing in the gloom. It's Oliver calling. I hesitate, my hand hovering over the answer button. If I tell him, everything changes. If I don't, where will my plan lead? The ringtone echoes like a warning, and I wonder, is this call the last bridge to cross, or the spark for a bigger storm? The faint glow from my phone screen pierces the darkness of the attic room, casting eerie blue streaks across my face, as if illuminating the deepest, most hidden corners of my soul. I sit there, frozen, clutching the phone tightly, afraid that if I let go, it all might vanish like some wild dream. 60,000 pounds. Every month, the figure echoes in my mind, resounding like distant church bells, bringing both hope and a creeping dread. This isn't a fantasy. It's real, a reality I've kept buried for years, now resurfacing like a double-edged sword, poised to sever the last fragile ties of my family. I draw a deep breath, the musty scent of dust and old wood catching in my throat, leaving it parched. My fingers tremble as I reopen the email, scanning the stark lines from the insurance firm. Dear Margaret, based on the special program you participated in from 1995 to 2010, we're pleased to notify you of a supplementary monthly pension of 60,000 bond commencing this month. This recognizes your discreet contributions in handling high-risk cases, including those involving national security matters you assisted with. National security. Those words flood me with memories of long nights at the office. Back when my husband was alive, thinking I was just doing routine admin work. But no, I'd secretly joined covert projects, using my analytical skills to aid government agencies, in exchange for silence and a promised fortune for the future. I never told a soul, not even my husband, because in our family, women like me were raised to keep secrets to protect loved ones, never to boast or flaunt. Money was for squirreling away, not for show. Now, this windfall arrives just as I'm being shoved to the edges of life. I stand, my legs numb from sitting too long, and shuffle to the window. Outside, the crisp autumn wind whispers through the cracks, carrying the earthy smell of fallen leaves from the little garden. I gaze down at the darkened house, where James and Sarah sleep soundly, oblivious to the storm brewing. Should I tell them? The thought flickers warmly, like a small flame in a winter night. But it's swiftly extinguished by the sting of that overheard conversation. They want to sell the house, bundle me off to a care home, carve up the assets as if I'm already gone. If I reveal it, would they change? Or just feign concern, waiting to wheedle more out of me? Inside, a battle rages between the forgiving mother and the betrayed woman. I return to the bed, lying down, but sleep evades me. Instead, memories surge like a raging river. I recall the year my husband died in that car crash, leaving me with 3 young children. James was just 15 then, stepping up as the man of the house. But it was really me, with that secret job, who shouldered it all. I worked around the clock, wiring money home for their schooling and upkeep, always fibbing that it was savings from their dad. Mom, why do you push yourself so hard? James had asked once, his voice laced with worry. Seeing me stumble in late with dark circles under my eyes, I'd smiled. Ruffled his hair. I'm fine. Love, just work. You focus on your studies. He'd hugged me then, whispering, I'll make it up to you one day. Make it up. Now, that promise rings like a bitter jest, tightening my chest with a sharp, needle-like pain. The next morning, the sun climbs high, but the atmosphere in the house hangs heavy like storm clouds. I head to the kitchen, cradling a steaming cup of Earl Grey, its floral aroma helping steady my nerves. James is at the table, scrolling on his phone, not bothering to look up. Morning, love, I say, keeping my tone soft. As a British mum does ever composed, he nods, eyes glued to the screen. Morning. Mum, sleep well. The question sounds rote, devoid of real warmth. I sit opposite, gripping the cup until it scalds my palms. I've been thinking about what you said yesterday, about moving out. He pauses, glancing up, a mix of hope and caution in his eyes. You've agreed then. Sarah's found a cracking place. Right in town, with round-the-clock nursing. I smile, but it doesn't reach my eyes. Not decided yet. But darling, this house holds our family's memories. Your dad built it with his own sweat and tears. Doesn't that mean something? James sighs, a touch of irritation creeping in. Though he reins it back, Mum, times have changed. Maintaining a big old place like this costs a bomb. We're just thinking of you, give you a proper rest. Rest. The word almost makes me laugh out loud, but I nod, swallowing the bitterness like a stiff upper lip demands. In our way, children don't argue with their mum, but mums endure to keep the peace. I study James, searching for a glimmer of the boy who'd wail after scraping his knee on his bike. But I see only distance, as if he's eyeing a stranger. That afternoon, Oliver rings. His voice crackles over the line. Warm and concerned, Mum. I heard from James you're considering a move. What's going on? You all right? I sink into the sofa, fingers tracing the hand-embroidered tablecloth I made years ago, feeling the smooth threads under my touch. I'm fine, dear. It's just, your brother and sister think it's for the best. He goes quiet for a beat, then says softly, I don't agree. Mum, this house is yours, why sell? I'll come home and talk to them. His words are a soothing balm to my heart, but I cut in. No need. Love. I'll sort it. You're busy with work. We chat a bit more about his job in London, the weather-safe topics to skirt the raw edges. But hanging up, loneliness hits harder than ever. That evening, alone in my room, I fire up the laptop to check my bank account. The balance has skyrocketed. The 60 pounds gleaming on the screen like a dare. I could use this to hold on to the house, live comfortably without relying on anyone. But then the vengeful thought sparks, dark and alluring. James is in that flat block he bought 2 years back, bragging to all about his success. But I've eavesdropped enough to know he's in financial hot water. Debts mounting from botched investments. If I bought the whole building, the idea quickens my pulse, heat flushing my cheeks. But what about morals? In the faith I hold, revenge sows bad seeds, breeding more pain. I'm a mother, I should forgive, guide my children. But does forgiveness have its limits when they cast you aside like dead weight? I pace the room, the creaky wooden floorboards whispering like echoes from the past. I catch my reflection in the mirror, my face lined and weary from years of sacrifice. What will you do? Margaret, I murmur to myself, voice quivering. A decision takes root, like a seed sprouting in barren soil. I won't spill the beans yet. I'll wield this secret like a weapon. But first, I need an ally. My old friend, Mr. Thompson, the property investor who owes me a favor from our working days together. I pick up the phone, dial, heart pounding. It rings, and his voice answers, hello. Margaret, been ages. I breathe deep, then say I need your help with something, but it has to stay under wraps. Will he agree? And if he does, where will this path lead, salvation or ruin? The late afternoon sun filters through the kitchen curtains, casting long, golden streaks across the floor where I sit alone with a cup of tea gone cold. The faint scent of jasmine tea lingers, but it no longer brings comfort. Only memories of warmer days when the family gathered around the dinner table. My hand grips the phone tightly, thumb hovering over Mr. Thompson's number. He's an old friend from my insurance days, now a well-known property investor in London. We haven't spoken in years, but he owes me a debt, one I earned by saving him from a major scam with my risk analysis skills. Now, I need him. But is reaching out the right move? Inside, a war rages between the fury of betrayal and the duty of a mother, a British mother, taught to forgive, to sacrifice, to keep the family peace at all costs. I take a deep breath, the faint smell of wood smoke from a neighbor's chimney drifting in, stirring memories of Christmas Eve spent baking with the children. James, so little then, would trail after me, peppering me with questions. Mom, why do you make so many mince pies? He'd ask, eyes wide with curiosity. I'd laugh, ruffle his hair so we can all have a proper festive feast. Love. Now he wants to sell our home, push me aside for profit. I press call, my heart pounding like a drum. The phone rings twice before Mr. Thompson's warm, surprised voice answers Margaret. It's been ages. You keeping well? I heard about your husband, terribly sorry. raising those kids alone. You're a proper hero. I swallow hard, keeping my voice steady, as a British woman does emotions tucked neatly away in front of others. I'm all right, Mr. Thompson, but I need your help with something. It's got to stay hush-hush. He pauses, then chuckles softly. Say no more. Margaret, I owe you one. If you hadn't spotted that dodgy deal back then, I'd have lost everything. I keep it brief, skirting family details, mentioning only the unexpected pension and my plan to buy a building. The block of flats in Camden, where my son lives. He's struggling financially, might sell up. I want to buy it, but anonymously. Mr. Thompson sighs, his tone sobering. I get it. Margaret, but buying a whole building like that, it's no small feat. I'll need to check the records. And, are you sure? He's your son. His words cut deep, stirring the doubt within me. I glance out at the garden, where fallen leaves scatter like fragments of broken trust. As a mother, I was taught to shield my children, even when they stray. In our culture, duty to family comes first. But what does a mother do when her children turn their backs? Forgive endlessly, or teach them a lesson, I'm sure, I say, my voice steadier than I feel. But it's got to be discreet. I don't want them knowing yet. He agrees, arranging to meet me tomorrow morning at a familiar cafe near Regent's Park. As I hang up, my hands are ice cold despite the warm afternoon glow. I've stepped onto this path, but is there a way back? The next morning, I rise early, slipping into a simple navy dress my husband always loved. The faint scent of lavender from the wardrobe lingers, reminding me of days when he'd call me his London Rose. Now, I feel like I'm donning armor for battle. The bus is crowded, thick with the smell of sweat and exhaust. But I barely notice. At the cafe, Mr. Thompson's already there, sharp in a tailored suit, a black coffee steaming before him. Margaret, you're looking as youthful as ever, he says, standing to pull out my chair. I manage a faint smile, ordering a pot of green tea, its earthy aroma calming my nerves. We talk in hushed tones, wary of prying ears. He opens his laptop, showing me the building's details, a sleek 20-story complex in Camden, where James owns a flat on the 10th floor. The owning company's in financial trouble post-pandemic, looking to sell. It's on the market for about £40 million, he says, eyes flicking over the screen. With your funds, plus some investment leverage, I can make it happen. But anonymously, through one of my shell companies. Still, Morley, Margaret, your son will be gobsmacked if he finds out. I clench my hands under the table, nails digging into my palms. Morals. The word echoes like a hymn, reminding me of my grandmother's teachings when children err. A mother corrects with love, not vengeance. I share more about James, how he wants me out, how he and Sarah plan to sell our family home. Mr. Thompson listens, his eyes darkening, perhaps recalling his own family. I understand. I've got a grown lad myself. Sometimes they think they know it all. But revenge, Margaret, it might hurt you more. His words make me waver. But then I recall James and Sarah's whispers about the care home, and my blood boils. I know, but I need to show them family isn't a game. We hash out the plan. He'll contact the agent, place an anonymous bid, using my first pension payment as the deposit. I'll handle the paperwork. Don't you worry, he assures me. Leaving the cafe, the sun is high, Regent's Park sparkling with life as tourists chatter and laugh. I walk along the canal, the cool breeze threading through my hair, carrying the familiar scent of the water. But my heart's uneasy. Is this plan going too far? I pause by an old willow, fingers brushing its rough bark. Remembering when I brought the kids here, James would run about, shouting, "Mum, I want to stay here forever." Now he wants me gone. My phone buzzes a text from Sarah. "Mum, coming for dinner tonight." James says there's something important to discuss. Important. Probably more talk of selling the house. I reply calmly, "All right, love, I'll be waiting." That evening, the kitchen glows with light, the aroma of my slow-cooked beef stew filling the air. A nod to old family dinners. James and Sarah arrive, their smiles forced and syrupy. Smells amazing. "Mum," Sarah says, her tone sweet but her eyes scanning the house like she's pricing it up. We eat, chatting about the weather, their job's safe. Shallow topics. Then James cuts to the chase, "Mum, about the care home we think you should visit. It's got lovely gardens, private doctors." I look at him, keeping my cool, as a British mum does, never snapping at her children. "I'll think it over," I say. But inside, the plan with Mr. Thompson solidifies. After they leave, I sit alone, holding that old family photo, tears streaming down my face. Mr. Thompson calls, his voice brimming with excitement. "Margaret, I've made contact. They're open to negotiations. But you need to decide fast. I nod. Though he can't see me, go ahead. This step is irreversible. But as I think of the future, I wonder when James learns I'm the new owner of his building. How will he react? Shock, regret, or anger? And me, will I regret choosing this path over the forgiveness a traditional mother would offer? The morning sun streams through the kitchen window, painting long streaks of light across the worn wooden table, where I sit with a steaming mug of coffee, its bitter aroma mingling with the scent of toasted bread from the oven. I pick up my phone, fingers scrolling across the screen, pausing at a message from Mr. Thompson. Margaret, I've contacted the agent. They're open to talks. Shall I sort the deposit transfer? My heart races, thumping like a festival drum, a mix of excitement and dread. This is the initial move in my plan, a step from which there's no turning back. With the £60 and sort of monthly pension, bidding on James's block of flats is no longer a distant dream. It's right within reach. Yet, in our family traditions, a mother like me shouldn't scheme against her children. She endures, forgives, preserves the harmony at all costs. But after what James and Sarah have done, that forgiveness feels like a luxury I can no longer afford. I stand, my feet padding across the chilly tiled floor, a numbness creeping up to my knees, as if my body is warning me of the bumpy road ahead. The garden outside the window is still lush and green, with golden chrysanthemums blooming under the sun, but they do nothing to lift the gloom in my heart. Last night, after dinner with James and Sarah, I lay awake, mulling over Mr. Thompson's words. He'd explained it all. The flat block in Camden, where James lives, is owned by a company drowning in debt. They're eager to sell at a fair price, and Mr. Thompson will front a subsidiary company to hide my identity. Don't worry, I'll handle all the paperwork, he'd said, his voice steady as a brother's. But how can I not worry when each step digs the family rift even deeper? I open my laptop, the fan whirring like a murmur from the past, and transfer the deposit, a hefty sum, but a drop in the ocean compared to my new funds. The screen flashes a success notification, and I exhale in relief, only for anxiety to flood back in. Will James suspect anything? He's sharp, always boasting about his business acumen. Though I've overheard from Sarah that he's struggling with bank loans lately. James invested in property, but the market's tanked, she'd said, her voice tinged with worry before swiftly changing the subject. I closed the laptop, fingers tracing its smooth surface, remembering when James gave it to me for my birthday a few years back. Use it to watch those period dramas you love. Mom, he'd grinned, hugging me tight. Now, that very machine is a tool in my revenge plot, and I wonder if he'd ever imagined this day. Midday, my phone buzzes. It's Oliver calling, his voice crackling with concern. Mom, I'm back in town. James rang me. Said there's family stuff going on. You all right? I sink into the sofa, clutching the embroidered cushion Sarah made years ago, its faded fabric scent evoking days when she sat beside me, learning to sew. I'm fine, dear. It's just your brother and sister want me to move out. Oliver falls silent for a moment. Then his tone sharpens. I won't have it. Mom, this house is yours. Why sell? I reckon James is hiding something. Last time, I overheard him on the phone about debts. His words are a beam of light piercing the darkness, confirming my suspicions. Oliver's always been the sensitive one, not like James or Sarah, wrapped up in their own gains. Don't fret. Love, I'll handle it, I say softly, in the way a British mum shields her children from worry. But Oliver won't let it go, Mom. I'm coming over right now. We need to talk face to face. I hesitate, but agree. Late afternoon, he arrives, toting a bag of fresh fruit from the market, the sweet tang of oranges filling the kitchen as he sets it down. Oliver's tall, his hair tousled from the train ride, but his eyes light up as he hugs me. Mom, I've missed you so much. We sit in the living room, the warm glow of the lamp casting shadows over the family photos on the wall, where young James beams beside his dad. I tell Oliver about James and Sarah's scheme, the care home talk, but keep Mum on the pension and the building purchase. I don't want you dragged in. Son, I say, stroking his hair like when he was little. Oliver shakes his head. Firm, Mom. I'm suspicious of James. He called yesterday, urging me to back the house sale, divvy up the assets. But when I pressed him, he got all evasive. Betty's in some financial pickle. His words twist my heart. A blend of pain and anger. I study Oliver, trying to gauge if he knows more. Heard anything specific? I ask gently, though inside I'm a whirlwind. Oliver sighs, twirling an orange. Not really. Mom, but I'll dig around. Don't sign anything. All right. We chat late into the night about his tech job in London, his new girlfriend, lighter topics to ease the tension. But as Oliver heads to bed, I sit alone, pondering his doubts. What if he uncovers my plan? Whose side would he take? Next morning, Mr. Thompson calls, buzzing with energy, Margaret. They've accepted the initial bid. Need you to sign a few bits. All anonymous. Meet next week. I agree, though doubt gnaws at me. In the meantime, I decide to keep an eye on James. I hail a cab to near his flat block. Settling in the cafe opposite, the familiar aroma of a flat white reminding me of afternoons ferrying the kids to school. From here, I spot James emerging, suit crisp, but face weary. Phone to his ear in a heated chat. I need more time on the debt. Don't force me to sell the place. His words drift through the open window, sealing my resolve. James is in trouble, and selling our family home is just his bailout. I head home, heavy-hearted. Oliver's in the kitchen, rustling up chicken soup for me, the ginger spicy warmth wafting through. Where'd you nip off to so early? Mom, he asks, eyes scanning my face with suspicion. I smile. Sitting down, just popped to the shops. Love. But Oliver's not buying it. His tone turning serious. Mom, I know you're hiding something. James has been odd too, he called today, asking if I'd said anything to you. His suspicion cuts like a knife through my last shreds of trust. I meet his gaze, staying composed, darling. I'm only thinking of the family. But even to me, the words ring hollow. That afternoon, Sarah drops by, bearing cakes, their vanilla sweetness clashing with the thick tension. Mom, James says you're wavering. But the care home's brilliant. Shall I take you for a look? Sarah coos, her voice honeyed but eyes gleaming with greed. I nod, but my mind's whirring. As she prattles on, my phone vibrates a text from Mr. Thompson bids through. Next up, legal checks. My pulse quickens, but I keep a straight face. Oliver emerges from his room, glaring at Sarah. Sis, why push Mum like this? The house is hers. Sarah startles, her tone sharpening. You don't get it. Oliver, James explained it's for her to rest. The argument erupts, voices overlapping like a storm indoors. I sit there, listening, feeling like the secret director of a play. But when Oliver turns to me, eyes full of doubt, Mum, you know something you're not telling. Don't you? His words chill me to the bone. Will the truth come out too soon? And if Oliver discovers my scheme, how will he react back me or turn against me? The question hangs heavy, a shadow over our family's future. The faint whiff of wood smoke from the neighbor's chimney drifts through the open window, carrying the hearty aroma of a simmering beef stew, stirring memories of cozy Christmas afternoons, when the whole family gathered around a laden table. But now, in our own kitchen, the atmosphere is thick with tension, like a storm about to break. Filled with overlapping voices and sharp glares, I sit at the head of the table, gripping my cup of cold tea tightly, the bitter taste spreading from my tongue down my throat, as if I'm swallowing back the sting of betrayal. Oliver stands up, his face flushed with anger, pointing at Sarah. Sis, what on earth are you and James thinking? Shunting Mum off to a care home just to sell the house and split the cash. This is Mum's home, our family home, not some bloody commodity. Sarah sits opposite, her eyes flashing, hands clasped so tightly her knuckles turn white. You don't get it. Oliver, James has explained it all. Mum's getting on. She needs proper care. This place is too big, too expensive. We're only thinking of her. Sarah's voice rises high, but I can hear the falseness in it, like a thin veneer hiding greed. I look at my children, my heart twisting like it's caught in an invisible vice. In our family, arguments like this rarely erupt out in the open. We tend to keep things bottled up, using glances and veiled words instead. But today, the truth about the house-selling plot has come tumbling out. Oliver overheard James on the phone and spilled it to Sarah. And now the cracks are spreading, like ripples shattering a calm pond. Children, enough, I say, my voice soft but trembling, trying to play the peacemaker as a mother should. I don't want you falling out over me, but my words are like a breeze, ignored. Oliver turns to me, his eyes red-rimmed. Mum, I can't stand it. James dragged me back to persuade you to sign the papers, but I've seen through it all. He's up to his neck in debt and wants to use this house to bail himself out. Sarah jumps up, the wooden chair scraping harshly across the floor. You're talking rubbish. James is into big business. It's just a temporary hitch. Stay out of grown-up matters. The kitchen feels stifling. The scent of the Earl Grey I brewed this morning still lingering, now mixed with the tang of tense sweat from my children. I sit there, feeling like I'm watching a tragic play where I'm the lead but have no lines. My plan with Mr. Thompson is moving forward. He's confirmed the initial bid's been accepted. And next week we'll sign the anonymous contract. But with this row raging, I have to choose patch things up to save the family or press on to teach them a lesson. Inside, a battle rages between a mother's love and the pain of being sidelined. I remember my grandmother's words, family comes first. Dear, even when the children go astray, a mother mends with love, not anger. But does that love have limits? When they treat you like a burden. The door slams open, cutting through the fray. It's James striding in, face thunderous, his suit rumpled as if fresh from a fraught meeting. What's all this racket about? He demands, his voice ice cold, eyes scanning us like he's assessing a deal gone sour. Oliver whips around, jabbing a finger at his brother. You explain it. Then, why force Mum to sell? How much debt are you in that you do this? James pauses, keys jangling in his clenched fist, his face paling briefly before he composes himself. Oliver, don't listen to gossip. I'm just looking out for Mum. This house is too much for her alone. It's risky. A care home means proper support, and we'll take care of her. Sarah nods vigorously, sinking back down beside him. Exactly. Oliver, you're still young. You don't understand. James is making big investments. He needs some capital to tide things over. I gaze at James, searching those eyes for a trace of the boy who'd wail when his dad scolded him for mischief. But all I see is detachment, as if he's negotiating with a business associate. James, tell the truth, I whisper, loud enough for the room to hush. The kitchen falls silent, broken only by the ticking wall clock, like a countdown to explosion. James sighs, sitting beside me, placing his hand on mine mechanically. Mum, I'm not hiding anything. The company's in a spot of bother, some bank debt. But if we sell, I can clear it, get you a new place. We'll split the proceeds. Sarah needs funds for her lad's uni abroad. And Oliver, well, he's young. Oliver snorts, his voice dripping sarcasm. You think I'm daft? Bro, you're in for millions. From that botched property venture. I heard it all your call with the bank. Oliver's words detonate like a bomb, sending James to his feet, face purple with rage. You've been spying on me. This is my private business. Sarah jumps in, her voice shrill. Oliver, you're out of line. James is the eldest. He's shouldering the family load. The argument erupts anew, shouts layering over each other like a flood sweeping everything away. I sit there, my hand trembling on the teacup, hot tears rolling down my cheeks. But I wipe them quickly. Can't let the children see weakness. In our way, a mother must be strong, the pillar, even when her heart's in pieces. But watching them turn on each other over money, I wonder if my plan will make it all worse. If I buy James's building, he'll go under, but could it salvage the family? I rise, my voice sharper than usual. That's enough. All of you, sit down. They freeze, staring in surprise. I'm rarely one to raise my voice. I draw a deep breath. The neighbor's wood smoke still wafting in, bringing a distant whiff of comfort. I know everything about your plot to sell the house, to pack me off, but I'm not some cast-off. I have my own way. James eyes me, a flicker of worry. Mum, what do you mean? Don't let Oliver wind you up. Oliver cuts in. Mum, spill it. You're hiding something, aren't you? I hesitate, the words about the pension and the building purchase nearly spilling out. But I hold back. Not yet. I just want you to think again. Family's the most important thing. Don't lose each other over money. But my plea falls on deaf ears. James shakes his head. Resolute, Mom. I'll sort the paperwork. Just sign, so we can all rest easy. Sarah nods, but avoids my gaze. Oliver grips my hand. Mom, don't sign. I'm with you. The family rift is stark now, like a deep gash in the earth after a downpour. That night, with the children gone, the house is silent again, but it's a heavier silence than ever. I sit in my room, tracing the old family photo, tears flowing freely. My phone buzzes. Mr. Thompson calling Margaret. The contract's ready. You decided. I stare out the window, darkness swallowing the garden, and whisper, go ahead. But as I hang up, I wonder will pushing on with the plan mend this rift, or just deepen it? And if James finds out, what will he do? Repent or turn away for good? The pale moonlight filters through the bedroom window, casting silvery, chilly streaks across the worn wooden floor where I sit huddled, knees drawn up, clutching my phone as if letting go might shatter everything. The faint scent of aged wood from the old bed mingles with the lingering aroma of lavender from the family shrine in the corner, reminding me of those late nights spent whispering hopes for family peace. After the fiery row the other day, the house has fallen eerily quiet, but it's not a peaceful silence. more like a thin veil over a brewing storm. Margaret, the mother who's given her life for her children, am now secretly spying on my own flesh and blood. The plan to buy James's block of flats through Mr. Thompson is progressing, but my heart's heavy with unease, like treading on thin ice that could crack at any moment. In our family traditions, snooping on your children is frowned upon. Parents are meant to trust, to let them stand on their own feet. But after what's happened, that trust has crumbled like a dropped teacup. I unlock my phone, fingers trembling as they scroll across the screen, pausing at the tracking app Oliver installed for me a few days back. "Mom, it's just for keeping an eye on your health," he'd said lightly, though his eyes betrayed worry. Truth is, he knew I wanted to track James. After spilling the beans about his brother's debts, now, the app shows James' location, a late-night cafe in Westminster, a spot he's never mentioned. My heart pounds, heat rushing to my face. Why's he there at this hour? I recall Oliver's words, James is in deep debt. "Mom, could be something dodgy." They echo, sending a chill through me. I throw on a coat and step out, the crisp night breeze tugging at my hair, carrying the earthy smell of fallen leaves from the garden like a warning from days gone by. The taxi weaves through London's nocturnal streets, sodium lamps casting golden pools on the damp pavement after a light drizzle, like glistening tears. I sit in the back, clutching my handbag, goosebumps prickling from the cold and fear. The cafe looms into view, a posh spot with neon lights in blues and reds, soft jazz drifting from the glass doors. I tuck into a shadowy corner, ordering a hot ginger tea, its spicy warmth sharpening my senses. Through the window, I spot James at a table with a stranger, a man in his 50s, sharp-suited in black, with a fox-like cunning in his face. They're murmuring. James sliding over a sheaf of papers, the man nods, smirking slyly. My chest tightens, squeezed like a vice. What's this? A business meet, or something darker? I strain to listen, ear pressed to the glass, but the music drowns most of it. Just fragments. Sell the house. Assets. Scam. Scam. The word thunders in my head like a clap of thunder, my hand shaking so badly the tea nearly spills. James, my boy, the one I nursed through fevers all night, now tangled in scams. I flash back to the tough years after my husband passed, when I worked covertly at the insurance firm, spotting high-risk frauds, including property cons. Those skills are a weapon now, but turning them on my own son. I snap a discreet photo, phone hidden in my bag, flash off to stay unseen. It's blurry, but the man's face is clear enough. I text it to Mr. Thompson. "Have a look, who's this?" He replies swiftly, "Margaret." I'll check right away, but be careful, don't take risks. Back home, sleep evades me. I sit in the dark living room, the lavender scent from the shrine still faint, and boot up the laptop, searching the man's face, a trick from my old job. But no need, Mr. Thompson rings at dawn, his voice grave. "Margaret, that's Mr. Harris, a notorious property broker known for scams. He fakes documents to flog disputed houses for big bucks. James might be in cahoots to sell your place. But it's not just that his flat block could be tied up in it too." His words slice like a knife, deep into my heart. Not just offloading the family home to clear debts. James is into fraud. I picture him with that confident grin, now masking deceit. In our family, children are raised to be honest, to honor their roots, but has James forgotten it all? Morning brings weak autumn sun into the kitchen. I brew tea, the fresh green scent spreading, but it tastes more bitter than usual. Oliver arrives early, toting a bag of bacon buddies from the local shop, their savory aroma making my stomach rumble, though I can't eat. "Mom, you look shattered. Where'd you slip off to last night?" he asks, eyes scanning my face with suspicion. I waver, then spill it softly. As if the walls have ears, I followed James. He met someone, probably a con artist. Oliver slumps into a chair, pawing Mum. I suspected as much. Yesterday I hacked his email. Don't tell me off, and saw bank demands for millions. But there were messages from this Harris chap, plotting to forge documents on our house to flog it quick and high. His words stun me, my hand gripping the table till it aches. Forging signatures. This house is my husband's legacy. Our ancestors now fodder for my son's schemes. We sit in silence, the clock ticking like a doomsday countdown. Oliver takes my hand. "Mum, what do we do? Call the police?" I shake my head, voice quivering. "Not yet." "Love," He's family. I've got another plan. I tell him about the pension and buying the flats. His eyes widening in shock. Mom, you kept that huge secret from us. But if James is scamming, your plan gets messier. His building might have dodgy papers too. He's right, chilling me to the core. If James is in deep, buying it could drag me into legal quicksand. And morals, I'm his mother, save him, or let him face the music. That afternoon, Sarah rings, her voice cloyingly sweet. Mom, popping over. James says there are papers for you to sign. I agree, but stay wary. She arrives with a box of early mince pies, their fruity spice evoking old Christmases when the kids clustered around the tree. Have one? Mum, they're lush, she says, settling in, eyes sparkling. We chat idly about the weather, her kids, but then she dives in. Mum, James says the care home forms are ready. Sign them. It'll put our minds at ease. I study her, darling. I know James is in strife, but selling the house, is it the only way? She startles, voice pitching up. What? James is fine. Just investments. But her hand shakes on the teacup, liquid sloshing onto the table. I don't sign, pleading tiredness. Sarah leaves, but forgets her handbag, or did she? I peek inside a folder of sale contracts, with my signature forged. My heart skips, blood roaring in my ears. They've gone that far. I snap photos, text them to Mr. Thompson. Look, they've faked my signature. He calls instantly. Margaret, that's fraud evidence. But if you buy the building, it could be leverage. Risky, though think hard. His words spark an inner tussle. Press on, or halt to save my son. In the faith I hold, forgiveness is virtue, but what of justice? That evening, James calls, sounding weary. Mum, Sarah said you didn't sign. Why? I pause, then say, son, I know it all. About Harris, the scams. He goes dead quiet, then his voice wavers. Mum, who told you? Don't believe rumors. But the ensuing silence speaks volumes. I hang up, tears scorching my cheeks. My plan's tangled now, with fraud woven in, and I wonder when it all unravels, can our family be salvaged, or will it collapse, taking me with it? The faint aroma of lavender from the family shrine wafts through the living room, blending with the scent of the fresh coffee I've just brewed. But the air still hangs heavy like a thick blanket of fog. Weak autumn sunlight slips through the curtains, illuminating the family photo on the wall where James, Sarah, and Oliver are little, beaming brightly beside me and my husband. Now, that picture serves as a painful reminder of what's been lost. I sit on the sofa, gripping my hot coffee mug so tightly it scalds my palms, trying to steady the tremor in my chest. Yesterday, I finalized the contract to buy James's block of flats through Mr. Thompson, hidden under one of his subsidiary companies. The papers are signed, the money transferred, and now I'm the secret owner of the building where my eldest son lives. But as I stare at the photo, my heart twists in knots. A devoted British mother, raised to sacrifice and forgive, am now entangled in a dangerous game with my own flesh and blood. My phone buzzes, jolting me from my thoughts. It's Mr. Thompson, his voice low but buzzing with excitement. Margaret, it's done. The building's under my company's name, which means yours. James hasn't a clue. I've made sure of that. But what next? He'll twig soon enough when the management firm sends out new notices. I draw a deep breath, the bitter coffee scent filling my lungs, but it does nothing to ease the knot of dread. Thanks, Mr. Thompson. I'm not sure yet. I'll confront James, but not just now. I hang up, my hand shaking so much that coffee sloshes over the rim, staining the hand-embroidered tablecloth like scars etched into my soul. Midday, James turns up unannounced. The doorbell rings sharply, like a warning shot. I open the door to find him standing there, suit crumpled, eyes ringed with dark circles, as if he hasn't slept a wink. Mum, we need to talk, he says urgently, without the usual hug or smile. I nod, leading him into the living room, where the lavender scent lingers, like a gentle nudge from our forebears about family values. We sit facing each other, like opponents across a chessboard. Mum, about yesterday, you said you knew something. About Mr. Harris. Who told you? James asks, his eyes darting over me warily. I meet his gaze, searching for a flicker of the boy who'd cling to me during thunderstorms. Darling, I didn't need telling. I saw you meeting Harris at that cafe. I know who he is, and I've got proof. You're planning to forge documents on our house. James flinches, his fingers digging into the armchair until it creaks. Mum, you followed me. His voice wavers, laced with anger and fear. You're my son. James, I didn't want to believe you'd get mixed up in scams, but the forged papers in Sarah's bag don't lie. I pull out my phone, open the photos of the fake contracts, and slide it across the table. James stares at the screen, his face draining of color, lips pressed thin. Mom, it's not what you think, he mutters, his voice fading. I'm in debt. Yeah, but Harris promised to help clear it. Just needed to sell the house quick. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I just had no other way. His words hit like a knife, twisting pain and fury inside me. No other way, I echo, my voice rising despite myself, forgetting the British stiff upper lip we're meant to keep. You were going to flog this house, shove me into a care home, all to fix your messes. What do you take me for? James, some pawn in your deals. He bows his head, knuckles white on his knees, silent. His quiet fuels the fire in me. You know, I press on, my voice quaking with rage and hurt. I've given my whole life for you lot. I worked those secret shifts, slaving away, so you could go to uni, have a decent life. And this is how you repay me. James looks up, eyes red. Mum, I'm sorry. I messed up. But you don't get it. The debt pressure's crushing. I just wanted to save the business, save the family. Family. The word rings like a bitter joke. I want to scream that I've bought his building, that I hold the power now, but I bite it back. Not yet. James, I'm giving you one chance. I say, colder than I'd like. Cut ties with Harris. Find another way to sort your debts. Don't touch this house, or I won't forgive you. He nods, but his eyes gleam with doubt, as if sensing I'm holding something back. After he leaves, I sit alone, tracing the family photo, tears burning hot trails down my cheeks. I recall my grandmother's words, when children stray. A mother forgives, but she must teach right from wrong. But how to forgive when James shows no sign of stopping? I ring Mr. Thompson, voice unsteady. Prepare the notices for the building's management firm, but hold off sending them. I need time. He sighs, Margaret. I understand, but watch yourself. James might kick off if he finds out you're the new owner. I nod, though he can't see, and end the call. The lavender scent clings, like an ancestral whisper that I'm treading a perilous line. Late afternoon, Oliver arrives, bearing a box of sausage rolls from the local bakery. Their flaky, savory smell wafting through the kitchen. Mum, James was here, he asks, eyeing my weary face. I recount the chat, but omit the building purchase. Mum, I'm worried he won't stop, Oliver says gravely. I checked his emails again. Harris sent new contracts, still tied to our house. His words fan the flames, urging me to act, but I hold back, smiling at him. Love, I'll handle it. But promise me, don't breathe a word to your brother or sister. He nods, but his eyes are full of suspicion, as if he knows I'm concealing something bigger. That evening, Sarah calls, her tone syrupy. False. Mom, sorry about the row before, but have a think about signing those papers. James says the sooner the better. I smile into the phone. Though my heart's ice, I'll mull it over. Dear, hanging up. I open the laptop, reviewing the building contract from Mr. Thompson. The place is mine now, but James lives there oblivious. I picture the day he gets the notice from the management firm, announcing the new owner's audit of tenancy agreements. Will he be shocked, remorseful, or turn on me? In our culture, a mother doesn't confront her child like this, but what about justice? I'm his mom, but also a woman betrayed, and I've gone too far to turn back. Late at night, I sit by the shrine, lighting a fresh sprig of lavender, its gentle smoke curling like a plea for ancestral forgiveness. I whisper, darling, what should I do? But only silence answers. My phone pings a text from Mr. Thompson. Margaret, management's ready to send notices. Reveal your name. My heart thumps, standing on the brink. If I do, James will know I'm the owner, and it'll all explode. If not, I prolong this charade, but can the family be saved? The question dangles like shadows devouring the moonlight outside. And I wonder, am I ready to face the fallout from this irreversible step? The faint aroma of mince pies from the neighbor's kitchen wafts through the open window, evoking memories of Christmases past, when the children and I would gather round the table, wrapping gifts under the warm glow of fairy lights. But now, in our own living room, the atmosphere is thick with impending storm, broken only by the steady tick of the wall clock and the subtle warmth from the scented candle on the family mantelpiece. I sit on the sofa, fingers tracing the embroidered tablecloth, feeling each delicate thread like faded memories. Yesterday, Mr. Thompson rang, his voice low and urgent. Margaret. The management firms sent notices to all residents, including James. They're requesting tenancy reviews, and the new owner, you, is mentioned anonymously. But James is sharp. He might cotton on. His words ripple through me like stones skipped across a pond, stirring waves of unease. I've bought the block of flats where James lives. But as the truth teeters on the brink, I feel a mix of resolve and terror, balanced on the knife edge between justice and devastation. Morning brings feeble autumn sun filtering through the curtains, casting hazy streaks across the floor. I brew tea, the floral scent of Earl Grey drifting about, trying to soothe my racing heart. But before I can sip, the doorbell rings insistently, like a drumbeat heralding trouble. I open the door to James standing there, face flushed, clutching a sheaf of papers, eyes blazing with fury. Mom, explain this. He bellows, thrusting the bundle at me. It's the notice from the building's management firm demanding tenancy contracts and preparing for meetings with the new owner. Who's the new owner? Mom. I called the firm, and they were all evasive, saying the identity's confidential. You know something about this, don't you? His voice cracks, not just with anger, but fear, as if sensing something catastrophic. I draw a deep breath, the tea's aroma mingling with the inky smell of the documents, making my head spin. In our family ways, a mother doesn't clash head-on with her children. She guides gently, with patience. But now, I can't back down. Sit down, James, I say, my tone cooler than intended, gesturing to the sofa. He hesitates, then slumps into it, still gripping the papers like a shield. I know everything, I continue, meeting his eyes, searching for a trace of the boy who'd burrow into my arms during storms. I know about your debts, your dealings with Harris to scam people, your plan to forge documents on this house, and I know you see me as a burden, ready to pack me off to a care home. James's jaw drops, face pelling, hands trembling, so the papers scatter to the floor with a rustle. Mom, what? I didn't, but I cut him off. Don't deny it. James, I've got proof, and I've taken action. I rise, walking to the mantelpiece where our keepsakes sit, pulling out the old oak box of family mementos and placing a photo of us all on the table. Look at this, James. This was our family. Your dad and I sacrificed everything so you could have a good life, and this is how you repay me. He bows his head, silent, eyes welling up. I inhale deeply, then say, my voice quivering with emotion, I'm the new owner of your flat block. I bought it through a friend's company. You had no idea, but now you do. The room goes still as stone, just the clock ticking and James's ragged breaths. He looks up, eyes wide with shock. Mom, you're serious. You bought the building. How could you afford it? I smile, but it's a bitter one. I've my ways. You don't need to know. But now, you're my tenant. James leaps up, the chair scraping harshly. You're doing this for revenge. You're my mom. How could you? His words stab like a blade, piercing my heart. I want to shout that he betrayed me first, plotting to sell our home and shunt me aside. But I hold back, steady. It's not revenge. James, I'm protecting what's mine. You wanted to sell our family house. I bought yours. Now choose stop this. Find another way to clear your debts, or face me head on. He staggers back, fists clenched, face ashen. Before I can respond, the doorbell rings again. It's Sarah and Oliver, tumbling in together, thickening the tension. Sarah glances at James, then me, eyes wide. Mum, James, what's going on? James called, said it was urgent. Oliver hangs back, hands in pockets, scanning the room like he's piecing together a puzzle. I recount it briefly, my voice even but edged. I've bought James's flat block. I'm the owner now. And I know all about the plot to sell this house, about Harris, about the scams. Sarah gasps, hand flying to her mouth. Mom, what? The building. Scams. She whirls on James' bro. You said it was just selling our house. How's your place involved? James roars Sarah. Shut it. You know nothing, stay out. Oliver steps forward, taking my hand, voice steady. Mum, I'm with you. James is in the wrong. He needs to face the music. But Mum, this could tear us apart. His words douse my anger like cold water. I look at my children, James furious and frightened, Sarah bewildered, Oliver concerned but resolute. Our family, once huddled round the dinner table, now shattered pieces impossible to mend. I wanted victory, to teach James a lesson, but at what cost? Hollow satisfaction, or eternal loneliness. In our traditions, a mother mends, doesn't break. But I've gone too far. No turning back. I sink down, fingers trembling on the family photo, tears streaming. Children. I never wanted this. I choke out. But I couldn't let you treat me like rubbish. James, you've a week to cut ties with Harris. Sort your debts another way, or I'll go public with everything, including the fraud proof. James glares, eyes full of resentment, Mom. You think this'll make me regret it? You'll be the one, sorry. He storms out, slamming the door like he's shattering it all. Sarah scurries after James. Wait, only Oliver remains, holding my hand. Mum, I'm here, but I'm scared we've crossed a line. That night, sleep eludes me. I sit by the mantelpiece, lighting another candle. Its soft smoke curling like comfort from our ancestors. My phone vibrates a text from Mr. Thompson Margaret. James just contacted the management firm, asking about the new owner. He's suspicious. Brace yourself, it's about to blow. My heart races, like teetering on a cliff. I've won this game, but why does it feel so empty? What will James do when it all sinks in? Repent, or lash out harder? And our family, will it survive? The question lingers, shadows swallowing the moonlight outside, leaving me wondering if this justice was worth it. The gentle winter sunlight spills through the large window of my new flat, casting warm streaks across the polished wooden floor where I sit with a steaming mug of ginger tea, its spicy aroma cutting through the crisp January chill of London. 3 months have passed since James discovered I'm the new owner of his block of flats, and everything has shifted not in the way I'd imagined, but in a complex tangle of voids and fragile bridges. Margaret, the mother once pushed to the fringes by her eldest son, now own not just that building, but a hefty £60 monthly pension, enough to live comfortably without needing anyone. Yet, that comfort comes at a steep price. Family ties altered forever, like scars that never fully heal, only fading with time. I gaze out at the balcony, where my potted orchids bloom in soft purple, their delicate scent mingling with the winter breeze, stirring memories of the old garden at our family home. That house still stands, unsold, thanks to my stubborn resolve after our fiery confrontation, but it's no longer the warm hearth of togetherness. James and Sarah rarely visit, their calls brief and strained. You keeping well? Mom, James asked last week, his voice weary but no longer angry. I'm fine, love, I replied, gripping the phone, a prickle of tension in my fingertips. We spoke of the weather, work-safe topics to skirt old wounds, but after hanging up, I sat alone, tears burning hot trails down my cheeks, wondering if he truly regrets it or is just playing nice to keep the peace. After that shock, James cut ties with Mr. Harris, as I demanded. He sold off personal assets to clear some debts and now works at a smaller firm, steering clear of risky ventures. I've learned my lesson. Mum, he said at our last meeting, eyes avoiding mine, fidgeting with his wedding ring nervously. I nodded, but doubt lingered. Has he really changed? Or is this temporary? Sarah's different, more distant, calling less, and when she visits, she brings her kids like a shield. Grandma, got any sweets? Her lad chirps, scampering through the living room, his laughter echoing like a faint trace of what family still holds. Sarah sits beside me, clutching her tea, the faint scent of her lipstick lingering as she murmurs, Mom, I'm sorry for backing James. I didn't think it'd go that far. But her apology feels half-hearted, as if she still resents me for derailing their plans. Oliver's the one bright spot in this new world. He moved in with me for a spell, helping manage the building through Mr. Thompson's firm. Mum, you did the right thing, he says over dinner, the aroma of my lemon chicken casserole warming the air. We chat about his job in London, his future plans. But even Oliver's changeless laughter, eyes often distant, pondering the family's cracks. I'm angry with James. Mom, but I'm sad it's not like before. His words twist my heart like a vice. I stroke his hair, hand trembling, I know. Love, I wonder if I did right myself. In our traditions, a mother keeps the hearth burning, sacrificing for her children's happiness. But my actions have snuffed out that flame, leaving ashes and faint embers. I've been spending more time on myself, something I never considered before. I joined a yoga class at the community center, feeling my stiff body loosen under gentle poses, the scent of sweat mixing with soothing meditation music. You're doing brilliantly. Margaret, the young instructor, beams, making me feel I still have worth. I meet Mr. Thompson often too, not just for business, but as a confidant. You did right. Margaret, he says over coffee at a canal-side cafe, the familiar aroma of a flat white drifting about. Kids need to learn, even if it hurts. But back home, alone, I trace the old family photo's wooden frame, its rough grain like sharp memories. Did I do right? Or have I become the enemy of my own children? The family adapts in its own way. James lives frugally now, renting a smaller flat in my building, too proud to move out and lose face. I'm staying put. Mom, he said over the phone, a hint of bitterness in his tone. I'll pay rent on time. I nod. Unseen. Torn, I want him to learn, but not to suffer. Sarah focuses on her own family, contacting me less but sending photos of her kids. A fragile link. They miss you. Grandma. Her message is read, making me smile but ache. Oliver's busy with work but calls weekly, his voice warm. Look after yourself. Mum, I'll pop round soon. He's the new pillar, but I know he's trying to fill the void left by his siblings. Yet, the permanent changes haunt me. Holidays aren't the same. This Christmas, James and Sarah visited briefly, bringing gifts and mince pies, the scent of cloves mixing with an awkward air. Happy New Year. Mum, James said, hugging me stiffly, his cologne faint. We ate a quick meal, skirting the past. After they left, I sat by the mantelpiece, lighting a candle for my husband, its soft smoke curling as I whispered, "Darling, what have I done? Will our ancestors forgive me for breaking family harmony for personal justice? I wonder if I did right. With 60 pounds a month, I live well a spacious new flat. A solo trip to Cornwall, feeling the salty sea breeze on my skin, waves crashing like a balm. But late at night, with the clock ticking, I miss the old days, children's laughter filling the house. Was this revenge worth it? It taught James a lesson but pushed him further away. Sarah's wary. Oliver's worried. The family adapts, but it's not whole. We're like mismatched puzzle pieces, trying to fit but leaving gaps. One afternoon, my phone buzzes. It's James. His voice is different. Less bitter. Mom, can we meet? Got something important to say. My heart races, heat flushing my face. Is he seeking real reconciliation or planning something new? I agree, but unease gnaws. When he arrives, will things shift again or just mask old wounds with a fresh veneer? This new world, though comfortable, is lonelier than I expected, and I wonder if there's any way back. The faint scent of February drizzle lingers in the London air, cool and damp, seeping through the window cracks of my new flat, prickling my skin like a reminder of those old rainy evenings when the family huddled around a steaming pot of shepherd's pie. I sit at the kitchen table, fingers tracing the chipped ceramic mug Oliver gave me for Mother's Day years ago, its rough surface evoking memories of mornings when he'd brew me coffee, its bitter aroma a quiet comfort. 6 months have passed since I revealed I'm the new owner of James's block of flats, and our family has tried to adapt, but the bridges between us are fragile as gossamer threads, ready to snap at any moment. I'm Margaret, the mother who poured her life into her children, am now straining to mend those cracks. Yet each step confronts me with a deep loneliness, like a void swallowing the warm memories of old. This morning, Oliver video calls from Bristol, his face flickering on my phone screen, hair mussed from late-night work, but his eyes still warm as ever. Mum, I miss you loads. Coming home this weekend? Yeah. His voice crackles over the hum of city traffic, making me smile, though my heart aches. Oliver's the only solid bridge left. He doesn't blame me for buying the building, even helps manage it through Mr. Thompson. All right, love, come back. I'll make your favorite sausage rolls, I say, gripping the mug until it scalds, keeping my tone steady as a British mom does, hiding the hurt to ease her child's mind. We chat about his job. Bristol's sunny weather light topics to skirt the raw wounds. But when the call ends, emptiness washes over me, this spacious flat feeling like an empty shell. I decide to ring Sarah, hoping to build a small bridge. The phone rings a few times before her voice comes through. Sweet but strained Mum. I'm swamped with the little one. Everything okay? I breathe deeply, the damp air outside mixing with the faint smell of leftover stew in the kitchen. Drying my throat, just checking on the grandkids. Bring them round this weekend. I miss them. Sarah pauses, then says, her voice pitching up, I'll see if we can swing it. Mom, but, James mentioned. Never mind. I'll try. Her words hang, a reminder of the new divide. James still resents me. And Sarah's caught in the middle, wary of getting too close. In our family ways, daughters often play peacemaker. But Sarah's cautious now, afraid of being swept into her brother's storm. I swallow hard, keeping it soft. All right, love, look after yourself. Hanging up, my hands are cold despite the warm mug. That afternoon, I stroll through the nearby park, the crisp breeze tugging at my hair, carrying the scent of fallen leaves and distant children's laughter, stirring memories of afternoons shepherding the kids to Hyde Park. Now, this park is my haven, but today brings a surprise, James. Alone on a bench, cigarette in hand, smoke curling like his tangled thoughts. My heart races, heat flushing my face. I approach, footsteps crunching on the gravel path, trying to stay composed. James, what are you doing here? I asked gently, as a British mum would, never snapping at her child in public. He startles, stubs out the cigarette. His red-rimmed eyes quickly masked Mum, just out for a walk. You here too? We sit, the gap between us like an invisible chasm. I study him, searching for traces of the boy who'd rush into my arms after school. You doing all right? How's work? I ask, fingers fidgeting with my handbag. He sighs, voice low, I'm okay. Mum, just, things are different now. The flat block, I'm still there. But paying you rent every month feels odd. His words carry an undercurrent, not outright blame, but laced with resentment. I press my lips, voice soft, I didn't want this. James, but you backed me into a corner. Now I just want us to mend things. He gives a bitter smile. Staring into the distance, mend things. Sarah said you called her. But Mum, I don't know how. I regret it. But you've changed everything. We sit in silence, the breeze carrying the lingering cigarette smoke, making me cough lightly. This new divide complicates everything. James is no longer the eldest son, the pillar just my tenant, and that dependence chafes him. Back home, Oliver calls, buoyant Mum, got my train ticket. Back tomorrow, I smile, but worry gnaws. Can we manage a family dinner when he's here? I text James and Sarah Oliver's coming this weekend. Join us for dinner. Sarah replies quickly, I'll try. Mum, James stays silent. A tacit refusal. That evening, I cook alone, the rich aroma of braised beef filling the kitchen, but a bitter taste lingers from loneliness. I recall old dinners, the kids squabbling over the best bits, laughter echoing. Now, this vast kitchen echoes only the clink of my spoon against the bowl, stark and cold. Come the weekend, Oliver arrives, toting a bag of fresh apples from a market. Their sweet tang spreading as he unpacks. Missed your cooking. Mom, he says, hugging me tight, the scent of travel sweat mixing with his youthful cologne. We dine, just the two of us. Sarah cancels last minute, and James doesn't reply. What's up with James? Mom, Oliver asks softly, twirling his fork in the beef. I sigh, he's still cross with me. Love, I've tried. He takes my hand, I'm here. Mom, but James has changed quieter. Last time we met, he asked if you'd sell the building. His words chill me. James is still thinking assets, even after his lesson. We talk late into the night about his future plans, but the new divide makes it hard. Oliver wants me to forgive fully, but I can't forget the betrayal. Mom, we've got to reunite the family, he says, eyes glistening. I nod, but doubt festers. Is it possible? The next morning, James shows up unannounced, standing at the door with a box of late mince pies, their spice scent faint. Mom, I'm sorry. Can we talk? My heart pounds, ears ringing. Is this a real bridge or another hurdle? As he steps inside, I wonder will this talk mend us or snap the last fragile thread? The sweet scent of chrysanthemums from the vase on the mantelpiece fills the living room, mingling with the aroma of braised beef simmering in the kitchen, stirring memories of past Christmases when the family gathered around a laden table. Today is my late husband's Memorial Day, a time when, in our traditions, the children should return to light candles and share a meal to honor their ancestors. Margaret, stand by the mantelpiece, hands trembling as I hold a lit candle. Its soft smoke curling like hazy memories, stinging my eyes not just from the fumes but from pent-up pain. 8 months have passed since I bought James's block of flats, and our family has changed forever, not shattered entirely, but no longer whole. What remains are fragments of trust, fragile bridges I'm desperate to hold on to. Yet each touch feels like brushing against thorns. I glance at the clock, 11 a.m., and anxiety grips me. Oliver arrived early. Now in the kitchen chopping onions, the steady thwack of the knife on the board, a comforting rhythm like a heartbeat. Mom, will James and Sarah show? He asks, worry lacing his voice, the sharp scent of onions rising from his hands. I turn, forcing a smile. I hope so. Love. It's Dad's memorial missing. It would disrespect our ancestors. But deep down, I know it's not simple. James still resents me. Though he's learned his lesson and settled into a steadier job, Sarah's caught up with her kids, but I sense her wariness in every call. This family gathering might be the last of its kind, as new boundaries have been drawn. I'm no longer just the sacrificing mother, but a figure of authority. And that shift has changed how my children see me. The doorbell rings, sharp and jarring like a warning. I wipe my hands on my apron and open the door, heart pounding like a drum. It's Sarah with her two little ones. The eldest barrels in, shouting, "Grandma." The faint smell of baby formula from the younger mixes with Sarah's light perfume, warming the air slightly. She hugs me, but it's brief. Not the tight embrace of old sorry we're late. Mum traffic was a nightmare. I stroke her child's hair, soft under my fingers, but my heart's conflicted, no worries. "Love, come light a candle for Dad." She nods, guiding the kids to the mantelpiece, their murmured prayers mechanical, as if done from duty rather than feeling. Oliver greets his sister, his tone bright but forced. "Sarah, your lad's shot up. Let me take the little one." She smiles, but her eyes scan the living room, as if checking for changes. We sit at the table, the rich scent of braised beef wafting, but before we can eat, the doorbell rings again. It's James, stepping in with a simple suit, carrying a basket of fruit, the sweet tang of oranges faint. "Mum, I'm here," he says quietly, bowing to the mantelpiece before turning to me. His hug is stiff, like strangers meeting, and I catch a whiff of tense sweat. "James," Oliver calls, trying to lighten the mood, but James only nods, sitting beside Sarah, avoiding my eyes. Dinner begins, the clink of cutlery against plates mingling with the toddler's babble. I serve James a slice of beef. "Eat up." "Love, I made it how you like." He nods, chewing slowly, the bitter taste in my mouth lingering despite the dish's savory balance. Sarah tries to spark conversation. "Mom, how's the building doing?" James mentioned the new management's better. Her words are a slow-burning fuse, freezing the air. James coughs, gripping his fork tightly. "Sarah, let's eat." "Not today." Oliver jumps in. "Peacemaking, come on." "You two. It's Dad's memorial. Let's keep it cheery." But the crack's exposed, like a splinter in the wooden table, and my chest feels heavy. After dinner, we sit in the living room, the toddler playing on the floor, his laughter a bittersweet echo of lost innocence. James speaks first, voice low. "Mom, I'll need to say something. I've cleared my debts, sold the car, took extra work. Thanks for that lesson." His words twist my heart, joy and pain entwined. I meet his gaze, searching. "Love, I didn't want to teach you that way, but it broke me to know you planned to sell our home, to push me out." Sarah cuts in, voice soft. "Mom, we were wrong, but you've changed too. We don't know how to act around you now." Oliver takes my hand, "Sis." "James, don't blame Mom. She was protecting herself." The talk stretches on, voices overlapping like a sudden downpour. James shares the pressure of his old job, how he thought money was everything, but now sees family matters more. "I regret it." "Mom, but I was angry you bought the building without telling me." Sarah nods. "Yeah." "Mom, we're scared you hold all the cards now. We feel like outsiders." I listen, tears burning hot trails down my cheeks. "Unhidden, my darlings. I only wanted you to see the value of sacrifice. I gave my life for you, but you turned away. I don't regret my plan, but I ache for our lost closeness." Oliver tries to bridge enough. "We start fresh now. Mom's forgiven you, but there's no clear resolution." James nods, eyes distant. "I'll try." "Mom, but it'll take time." Sarah, hugging her child, chokes out. "Me too." "Mom, just don't push us away." We light more candles at the mantelpiece, the smoke curling like a plea for ancestral blessing. As they leave, the house falls silent, save for the clock's tick and the cold scent of leftover food. Oliver stays, holding my hand. "Mom, today was good. It'll get better." But I wonder, was this revenge worth it? It taught them a lesson, but built walls between us. This final gathering wasn't perfect healing, just a fleeting pause, leaving an open ending. Will time mend? Or will the wounds keep bleeding? Alone by the mantelpiece, I trace my husband's photo, its cold surface sharp under my fingers. "Darling, what do I do?" I whisper. No answer comes, only the breeze carrying the scent of rain through the window, like a murmur from the past. Perhaps all that's left is my resilience, and a faint hope that one day my children will understand. For now, I live on with a heart full of unanswered questions,